Expedition Solar System. Cadets, do you have what it takes to be astronauts? I think you're all ready. Let's get our mission started. I believe our robot is all charged up and ready to go. They're our science officer, and they've been specially programmed with bravery, truthfulness, and loyalty to humanity. Very important traits for a robot. Cadets, I'd like you to meet my trusty sidekick, Quasi the Robot.
Hi everybody. My name's Quasi. Quasi the Robot. Nice to meet you.
Everyone say hi to Quasi.
Hi there.
You know, this little robot's been dreaming of going to space for a long time.
Yep, you said it, Captain. When I grow up, I want to be an astronaut. I'm still not old enough for a space camp. Oh, but today's my chance to show the folks at NASA that I've got the right stuff. Hey, do you like to look at the stars? I wish we could go to space right now.
Oh, well, we can do that, Quasi. You're in luck.
Yeah?
Lots of robots have been to space, and you know what? Today it's your turn.
What? That's awesome! My first space mission. Just imagine the cool planets we're gonna see and the cool robots we're gonna meet. Wait a minute, Captain. Hey, Captain. How are we gonna get there?
Well, we're in a planetarium, Quasi. A theater of the stars. We can turn this whole room into a spaceship right now. Let's use our imaginations.
All right, cadets. Put your thinking caps on. Repeat after me. Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop. Your brain power will make our spaceship go.
All right, cadets. Imagine a cool, crisp morning and a Florida sunrise at Kennedy Space Center. Now imagine a rocket as tall as a skyscraper, reaching 20 stories into the sky. Look, we can see her steaming and ready to go on that historic launch pad. She's the Atlas V, and she's ready for liftoff. This is how robots ride in style to outer space. Let's join in mission control for the countdown.
T-minus 10, 9,
8,
7,
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
ignition and
Liftoff!
Woohoo! Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of me, Quasi the Robot. Wow, we reached Earth orbit. You have great imaginations. Give yourselves a round of applause. Yeah,
Great job, cadets.
Earth is my home. Hey, raise your hand if you're from planet Earth. That's like half of you. What's up with that? Well, raise your hand if you're from another planet. All right then. Welcome, visitors.
You know, Earth has all the right stuff to make a good home. Liquid water, land to live on, and just the right mix of air for us to breathe.
Earth is awesome. It looks like a blue marble. Just look at those oceans and clouds. Wow.
And Earth gets by with a little help from our friends, including the sun. Our sun is just the right size. It's not too close and it's not too far away.
So Earth is not too hot and not too cold.
That's right. And our sun is a star. When you go outside and feel the sunshine, you're really feeling starlight. How cool is that? Quasi, let's take a closer look at our sun.
Aye, Captain. Here comes one of my robot friends. The Solar Dynamics Observatory. It's got 4 telescopes, specially made to look at the sun.
Our sun is a white star, but through robot eyes, we can see a whole rainbow of colors. SDO looks at the sun in lots of wavelengths. Now, wavelengths are like different languages of light. Our eyes only understand one language, but SDO can understand and see a lot more, and can help translate for us. We can find sunspots and solar flares. Hey, Quasi, let's follow a ray of sunshine and see where it goes.
Destination mapped, Captain. That sunshine is headed to a tree in my backyard.
On screen. Ah, here comes the sun. The leaves are soaking up the sunlight. Quasi, report.
Captain, it's called photosynthesis. The leaves use sunlight to help make new things like oxygen. Hey, raise your hand if you like to breathe. Yeah? Generally in favor of breathing? Cool. But the leaves make sugar too. Raise your hand if you like to eat sugar. Next time you see a tree, say, hey, thanks, tree. You know, our sun has the whole day of the week named after it. Which one is that? That's right, Sunday. And guess what Monday is named for? The moon. Monday is short for Moon Day.
And speaking of the moon, that's our next stop. Quasi, activate the moon zoom.
Aye, Captain. Moon Zoom. Engage. Wow. We're moving fast. We reached the moon in just a few seconds. Man, it took me an hour on the parkway last week just to get out to Moon Township. It's a Pittsburgh joke.
Very funny, Quasi. You know, the moon is like a big, great desert. Quasi, set course for Tycho Crater. A space rock crashed into the moon and formed this huge crater. But the best part is what happened next. Rubble fell back to the point of impact, and it had nowhere to go but up. So these mountains formed in a matter of minutes. We can also see how material sprayed outwards away from the crater, creating white streaks across the moon's surface.
And we know what Tycho's mountains look like thanks to this robot. Meet my friend LRO, the Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter.
You know, LRO discovered ice at the moon's south pole. That frozen water could come in handy when people return to the moon. Hey, Quasi, where was the first moon landing? Can you show us?
I'm on it. Beep boop. Let's head to the Sea of Tranquility, where we'll find the site of the very first moon landing, Apollo 11.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
That was Neil Armstrong, the first person to ever walk on the moon. Neil left his mark on history and the lunar surface with no wind to blow them away. His boot prints will last for millions of years. You know, our moon is our closest neighbor in space. Quasi, can you draw us an imaginary line to show us where the moon is going?
Ah, here you go, Captain. The moon orbits the Earth. It travels in a big oval around the Earth all the time. Earth's gravity pulls on the moon and keeps it in orbit, just like gravity keeps you in your seat.
Beyond the Earth, the moon is the only other place people have traveled so far.
But robots have been all over the place. Come on, I'll show you. Hang on tight. Cadets, we proudly present the Solar System.
Very nice, Quasi. These imaginary oval lines show us the path the planets take around the sun, or their orbits. Find the orbit, and you'll find the planet. The planets closest to the sun are mostly made of rock. This is the inner solar system: Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars. There's even an asteroid belt full of space rocks. Next come the giant planets, made mostly of clouds and gas. the outer solar system: Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Even further out is the Kuiper Belt, full of ice worlds like Pluto. Quasi, let's start at the very beginning. Let's set course for Mercury, the closest planet to the sun.
Course laid in, Captain. Wow, Mercury is sure moving fast. We gotta catch up. Proceeding at full impulse power.
Make it so. Mercury orbits the sun faster than all the other planets. Mercury was named for an ancient Roman god, a speedy messenger with wings on his feet. The days on Mercury get hot, 4 times hotter than boiling water. And with no air to keep that heat in, it gets really cold at night. It's too dangerous to send people to Mercury.
One of my robot pals went to Mercury to do some exploring. Everyone say hi to Messenger.
Hi, Messenger.
Messenger made a map of the whole planet. It's sending us a picture of some of Mercury's craters right now. Speedy delivery. Check it out. I think they look a little like Mickey Mouse. Mercury reminds me of someplace else we visited today. The moon. Mercury is covered in craters, just like our moon.
Let's start and set sail for the second planet in orbit around our sun, the planet Venus. Now, Venus is about the same size as Earth, but it's a very different place. Every day is a cloudy day on Venus. Sunlight never reaches the surface. We can't see through that thick blanket of yellow clouds.
Wait a minute, that sounds like a job for a robot. Everyone say hi to my friend Akatsuki.
Hi, Akatsuki.
That's a Japanese word for dawn or sunrise. This robot has a special camera that can see inside the clouds. Boop, boop, boop. Robot sensors. Engage.
Oh, great job, Akatsuki. Check out all those volcanoes and lava flows. Wow. Venus would be the perfect place for Darth Vader to build his castle.
Darth Vader? Oh, hey, Captain, you want to hear my Darth Vader impression?
Oh, do we have a choice?
Not really.
Okay.
Okay, everybody, it's really good. Here goes.
Wow.
Captain, come to the dark side. We have cookies.
Quasi, this runaway greenhouse effect is no laughing matter. It's hot enough here to melt lead. We've got to go before we choke on the poison in the air.
Be careful not to choke on your aspirations, Captain. You see what I did there?
I do. Well, don't worry, we can breathe easier on this next planet. Cadets, shout out the name of the third planet from the sun. That's right, it's the Earth. Our home planet, our place in space. My favorite spaceship orbits the Earth, the International Space Station. It's a great big science lab in space, as big as a football field. Scientists from 15 countries around the world work here in friendship. There's lots we can learn about the Earth from space. On the space station, astronauts use robot sensors to scan the planet. We're learning about oceans and forests and how to protect them. By observing our home planet from space, we're learning how to conserve the amazing diversity of creatures that live here.
And humans aren't the only astronauts on the space station. Meet my pal, Robonaut. It's like having an extra pair of hands for detailed construction work. And don't forget Canada's robot arm. Check this out. Canadarm is making a cosmic catch, attaching a science lab onto the station. These robots do jobs that are too dangerous for people, like making repairs on the outside of the ship. Yep, humans and robots. We're working together to build the future.
That's right, Quasi. And speaking of the future, someday astronauts will visit our rocky red neighbor planet. Cadets, which planet is the red planet? That's right, it's Mars. Quasi, please conduct a planetary scan. Let's find out why Mars is so red.
You got it, Captain. Beep boop. We've got a whole team of robots mapping Mars from orbit, like Raven, the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter, and Mars Odyssey. Mars is red because it's covered in iron oxide or rust. Mars is crusty, dusty, and rusty.
Studying Mars unveils some pretty cool things. Mars has some of the most amazing surface features that we can see. It has the biggest mountain in the solar system. Olympus Mons, the Martian Mount Olympus. It's more than twice as tall as Mount Everest, and at its base, it's almost as big as the entire country of France. That's a big dormant volcano. And the next one we're going to see is Valles Marineris, Mariner Valley. The grandest canyon of them all. On Earth, it would stretch from coast to coast across the United States. Cadets, should we fly in for a closer look? I think that's a yes, Quasi. Let's set course for one of the canyon's offshoots. Engage thrusters.
Aye, aye, Captain. Engines at maximum.
Punch it. That was some nice flying, Quasi.
Aw, thanks, Captain. Beep boop. I'm detecting another robot. It's entering the atmosphere on the other side of the planet. Oh, engage heat shields. It's coming in fast. Hit the brakes. Hit the brakes!
Don't worry, Quasi, we're well prepared for this mission. A 1-ton sky crane will safely deploy this robot. Retro thrusters engaged, and touchdown confirmed!
Alright! Meet my friend Perseverance, or Percy for short. Everyone say hi to Percy.
Hi, Percy.
Percy is exploring Jezero Crater, the site of an ancient lake. Percy's collecting rock samples and searching for signs of ancient life. Activate drill!
Perseverance is a rover, a science lab on wheels. And you know what? It looks like it's getting ready to rove this way.
Uh-oh, I'm gonna duck.
Heads up! Well, we can meet Percy's sidekick, Ingenuity. It's a robot helicopter. It takes pictures that help Percy choose the best way to drive each day. You know, Ingenuity is the very first flying machine on Mars.
I like to think of Mars as planet robot. Robots like these are paving the way for people to visit Mars in the future.
That's right, Quasi. And it sure will be an amazing planet to visit. You know, Perseverance was named by a boy in 7th grade, Alexander. Ingenuity was named by a girl in high school, Vanessa. And who knows, cadets? Maybe one of you will name the next Mars robot. All right, cadets, we are heading out past the asteroid belt now, a ring of ancient space rocks that orbit the sun. Check out all these dots. There are hundreds of thousands of asteroids out here.
Wow. Look at all that data. Captain, I'm detecting another planet. It's the biggest one yet.
Oh, Quasi set course for the largest planet in our solar system, Jupiter. All the other planets would fit inside Jupiter with room to spare. Jupiter has a lot of gravitational pull. It's like a great big cosmic vacuum cleaner. It vacuums up dangerous asteroids and comets before they can reach Earth. And Earth gets by with a little help from its friends, including giant Jupiter. So let's give Jupiter a round of applause.
All right.
Wow, check it out, cadets. You see all those swirling clouds?
Oh, hey everyone. Say hi to my robot pal, Juno.
Oh, hi, Juno.
Juno is a satellite that orbits Jupiter. Check out these swirling clouds. Juno saw some at the South Pole. Jupiter is so colorful. I see stripes of orange, yellow, brown, green, and white.
Yeah, Jupiter sure is cloudy. Quasi, can you find us a landing site? Activate surface scan.
Surface scan. Negative. There's no surface. There's nowhere to land. Sensors show Jupiter is a great big ball of clouds and gas.
Oh, well, it's still a great planet to observe, though.
Yeah.
And Cadets, when we get back to Earth, you can try taking a picture of Jupiter sometime with your phone on a telescope, and then hop on NASA's website and send it in. Your photo might help Juno decide what to look at next. It's your chance to be a citizen scientist. You can help NASA explore the planet Jupiter. All right, Quasi, let's set course for the next great gas giant in our solar system, the planet Saturn.
Course right in, Captain.
Engage.
Hey everyone, do you know what day of the week is named for Saturn? Right, Saturday!
Jupiter may be the king of the planets, but Saturn is the lord of the rings. So let's give Saturn a round of applause.
Yeah! Hey everyone, let's say hi to one of my favorite robots in history, Cassini!
Oh, hi Cassini. You know, Cassini explored a giant storm at Saturn's North Pole. It's a shape with 6 sides. Quasi, access your shape database. Can you tell us what a shape with 6 sides is called?
Data fragmented. Oh boy, it's been a while since I took geometry. Maybe cadets here can help me out. 3 sides is a triangle. 4 is a quadrilateral. Yeah, square, a rectangle, a trapezoid. 5 is a pentagon. 6 sides is a hexagon.
Good work, Quasi, and good work, Cadets. Cassini made some daring dives between Saturn and its rings. I think we should try some fancy flying of our own. Quasi, set course for Saturn's rings.
Oh, I've always wanted to do this. We're going in.
Let's fly. Saturn's rings are made of billions of pieces of rock, ice, and dust. The rings are flat like a pancake. If we take a close look at a gap in the rings, we might find something really special.
I think I see it, Captain. It looks like a mighty space walnut.
That's no walnut, it's a moon. This is Pan, a shepherd moon. It shepherds the dust around it. Pan is like a little dustbuster, tidying up the rings, so there's a gap. Pan's walnut shape comes from ring material collected around its center. Saturn's rings are really wide, about 175,000 miles from side to side. But on average, they're only about 30 feet thick. Those pieces, though, they reflect a lot of sunlight, giving us a really amazing view of their dazzling display. What do you think, Quasi?
Wow. I think I could stay here forever.
Me too, but you know what? We've still got a few more awesome worlds to visit. You know, Cadets, so far every planet that we visited can be seen in the night sky from Earth with just your eyes. But this next one is so far away, you actually need a telescope to see it. It's the planet Uranus.
I thought it was Uranus.
No, it's Uranus.
No, Uranus. Everyone say it with me. Uranus!
Thanks, Quasi.
You're welcome.
Uranus was the first planet to be discovered with a telescope. It was spotted by a British astronomer named William Herschel back in 1781. He wanted to name it in honor of King George III.
King George III. Da 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 da.
Yes, King George.
Oh, hey Captain, I have an idea. Let's just call it Planet George.
Well, Quasi, we can't call it Planet George.
Why not?
That's ridiculous. We can't call it Planet George. Uranus helps things keep consistent.
Yeah.
Okay, you know, ancient Romans saw Jupiter as the king of the gods. Saturn was his dad.
Yeah.
Uranus was his grandpa.
Now, whatever. I'm calling it Planet George.
Okay. Well, scientists sent a robot to Uranus.
George.
Uranus.
George.
Uranus.
George.
Scientists sent a robot to this planet
Oh,
named Voyager 2, and it flew by in 1986. It found a green ball of clouds, ice, and gas. Kind of boring compared to what we've seen so far.
well, that's because you're looking at it with human eyes, Captain.
Oh, well, what do your robot eyes see, Quasi?
I'm glad you asked. Activate infrared sensors. I see rings, kind of like Saturn. Check out those clouds. It looks like a giant moon ring. But the rings and cloud bands spin around the planet's side.
Yeah, that's a great observation, Quasi. So far, we've seen planets that spin around like giant tops. But something big crashed into Uranus a long time ago and toppled it on its side. So it spins on its side, kind of like a giant toilet paper tube.
I guess Uranus really is the butt of the joke.
No, but there's more to the story. Scientists recreated the clouds of Uranus in a lab, and with help from a laser, they even made diamonds. On Uranus, it could actually be raining diamonds.
Wow. Well, you see, Captain, every planet is unique and beautiful. You just need to look at it with the right lens.
That's a good point, Quasi. You know, scientists realized that Uranus was being tugged by another object about something just as big with a lot of gravity. And it turned out to be our next destination, the planet Neptune. Neptune was predicted by math, and then it was discovered out in space. That's how powerful math is. It can help you discover planets. And looks like we found Neptune for ourselves. Voyager 2 also flew by Neptune in 1989, just a couple years after. It's a deep blue ball of gas and ice with storms with winds 10 times faster than Earth's worst hurricanes. Now and then, Neptune even gets a stormy Great Dark Spot. Voyager 2 is the only spaceship to ever visit Uranus and Neptune. We are far out now. In fact, cadets, we are entering the Kuiper Belt. Cadets, let's say that together. Kuiper Belt.
Kuiper Belt.
Great job. It's filled with objects made of ice. Some of them are even round, and they make pretty good junior planets, or dwarf planets. I like to call them the Kuiper Belt kids. And here come some of them right now, parading by. First up is Eris, named for the Roman god of debate. Eris is about as big as Pluto, and its discovery stirred up a whole debate over what to call Pluto. This next one spins so fast it's been squished into an egg shape. Its name is Haumea.
How may I help you? Oh, hey, don't forget everyone's favorite Kuiper Belt kid, Pluto. Let's give Pluto a round of applause. It may be small, but Pluto sure has a lot of heart.
That's right, Quasi. Pluto's heart was discovered by a robot spaceship named New Horizons. Quasi, please conduct a planetary scan.
You got it. Oh, the surface is covered in nitrogen ice. Oh, but that could be fun for ice skating or hockey. Look out, Loretta! It's a hockey night on Pluto.
Very funny, Quasi. You know, nitrogen makes up most of the air we breathe back on Earth, but it's frozen solid here on ice-cold Pluto. That heart shape on Pluto is a flat plain covered in nitrogen ice, and it's surrounded by mountains. Cadets, do you want to fly over the heart of Pluto for a closer look? Quasi, you have the helm.
Oh, thanks, Captain. Next stop, Pluto!
Take a sip, Quasi, and please be careful.
I'm getting closer to the mountains.
I think we're close enough, Quasi. I think you can pull
You want to
up
get
a little
closer?
bit. I think you can pull up a little bit, Quasi.
Getting closer. Aye, Captain.
Oh man, alright, that was a great flight. Great flying. Let's give Quasi a round of applause.
Thank you.
Some great flying. You know, all of those mountains we saw are real. And we know what they look like thanks to New Horizons. You know, Quasi, robots just like you have traveled all the way to the outer limits of our solar system. And from this far away, we can see our sun looks just like all the other stars.
And that's because our sun is a star.
That's right.
Wow. We visited some cool places today. Red Martian mountains, Saturn's rings, Venus's clouds, Jupiter's storms, and Pluto's heart. But there's no place like home. A round of applause for planet Earth!
This beautiful blue planet has got it all. Oceans and mountains, forests and rivers, plants, animals, people,
And robots. You were going to mention robots, Captain.
Of course I was.
You know, Earth is my home. Yep, it's my place in space.
Quasi, you did a great job flying today. Let's give Quasi a round of applause. Great job, Quasi.
You're making me blush.
But we have one more mission for you, Quasi. Set course for Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and prepare for landing.
Aye, aye, Captain. Hey, I can see the Three Rivers from here. And Carnegie Science Center. And there's my car in the parking lot.
Wait, you don't have a car, Quasi.
They don't know that. I had a blast exploring the planets with you all. Hey, Captain, when can we do that again?
Well, next time the sky is clear, just go outside and look up. You could spot Venus with its yellow clouds, the red planet Mars, Jupiter with its colorful stripes, Saturn with its amazing rings. Cadets, I hope you get to explore the moon and the planets and the stars outside soon. Then you can come back to the Buell Planetarium and tell us what you discovered.
I can't wait to see you all again. But for now, I think it's time for me to recharge.
All right, well, everyone whisper good night, Quasi. Good night, Quasi.
Good night, Captain. Good night, everybody. Initiating sleep mode. 0101.
Quasi is dreaming of electric sheep. Well, you know what, cadets? We want to thank you so much for flying with Expedition Solar System. Give yourselves a round of applause. We hope you enjoyed your mission today. Thank you all for joining us here in the Buell Planetarium, and join us next time for our next expedition.